Hi guys, this is Shrimley Carlos. On today's video, I'm gonna give you my rolling review of the MCU's Thor. Yes, the first one out of the four. So here we go. Here we go, guys. I love this movie because we get to see the the most the most waviest hair of all time, according to me, in the MCU. And Thor, the god of thunder, not the Norse god Thor, but the god of thunder, but the MCU's Thor. So here we go, guys. So here's the gist of it. Thor is the son of Odin, the ruler, the the democratic ruler of Asgard, a celestial, a celestial, a celestial, a celestial, a celestial capital. Let's call it let's say, the capital of Kendor. And we're talking about DC, which is Kendor is the capital of Krypton, but Asgard is the celestial capital of the gods, sky gods, and gods overall. So Odin has two sons, Thor and Loki. Well, Loki's he's adopted. Loki's adopted, but he's the god of mischief. Meanwhile, Thor is a party animal, meaning a party animal regarding with his friends. But he's a party fighting animal. What I mean by that is that he loves to fight the ice giants, and every enemy of Asgard, which he should fight, but he does it with a cocky attitude, like a party animal cocky attitude with his friends Valkyrie and guys, you can check me on this. Please help me out with this and with his other friends. Well, Odin sees Thor as the heir apparent to the throne of Asgard if something were to happen to him. Loki, on the other hand, sees himself as the heir apparent to that same throne. So, what does Loki do? What does Loki do? He pouts about it, and he plans a plot, a very elaborate plan, which comes later in the movie, which comes into play later. But Odin sees that Thor needs to wake up a little bit. He needs a lesson, and so Odin tells Heimdall. Heimdall is the keeper, the gatekeeper to a galactic Asgardian portal that connects the bridge of Asgard, Asgard to different planets and dimensions. Yes, different planets, including Earth, and dimensions. So, in a teachable way, Odin decides to teach his son Thor a valuable lesson by taking away his hammer and basically sending Mjolnir Mjolnir, that's the name of Thor's hammer, to somewhere, to a random place. But luckily for us, that random place is Earth. So anyway, Odin sends Thor to Earth, sends him to Earth to teach him a lesson. And Thor is just dressed like us, just is like us. He doesn't have his Asgardian armor on. He's foreign to Earth, and he doesn't have his hammer. So he's kind of lost. But luckily for him, Jane Foster, who's played by Natalie Portman, she's an astronomer with the help of her assistant slash best friend Darcy, and the help and the guidance of her mentor Dr. Selvig. Now, Dr. Selvig is an astronomer just like Jane and just like Darcy. But Jane has been kind of working this theory out that she has been seeing on all strange stuff up in the sky, meaning in the stars. And she's not wrong, because when she and Darcy go look up in the skies of New Mexico, that's when Thor comes in. That's when Thor is dropping in. But Dr. Selvig doesn't believe, and Jane and Darcy's what they just saw, a big hole portal opening up in the sky out of nowhere, and that's the gist of it. Until Darcy accidentally runs over Thor, and then Thor is demanding the location and the whereabouts of Mjolnir, his hammer, which he's the only one that can pick it up. And by the way, Mjolnir landed somewhere deep in the desert, and it's stuck there. Mjolnir's stuck there, stuck in the crater that when he landed, meaning Mjolnir created. And luckily for Mjolnir, he landed in a shield facility outside a shield, high sensitive and secured shield facility. So what does Thor do? Again, demand the whereabouts of Mjolnir, of his hammer. And Jane and Darcy are surprised to see a guy that just fell out of the sky look fine and good, not hurt after falling way down from the sky, and asking for the location of his hammer. And by the way, Thor surprises Jane and Darcy by the appetite that he carries. Yes, the food appetite. The dude, Thor, with beautiful and volumistic hair, blonde hair has an appetite. But anyway, Jane Jane and Darcy tell this to Dr. Selvig, and Dr. Selvig again doesn't believe their story that a hole opened up in the sky and a guy named Thor fell down to them. Until Dr. Selvig sees Thor in person, sees him face to face, like literally face to face. And then then Jane gets curious, being the astronomer that she is, and Darcy gets curious too, as the assistant of Jane and friend of Jane. And basically, Thor tells them both that I come from a celestial state. Celestial state capital of celestial state and land celestial state and country and land called Asgard. Now Thor also tells Jane that Asgard has a bridge, and that this bridge connects Asgard to two different dimensions / planets, which includes here on Earth. And the gatekeeper of the door that leads us to outside to the bridge of Asgard is named Heimdall. But my dad, Odin, the god of thunder, sent me here to teach me a lesson. Of course, Thor doesn't say that, but in more specific terms, we know that. To teach me a lesson of growth, I need to grow up. But meanwhile, back in Asgard, Asgard, the god of mischief, Loki has his plan in full force. He basically put his father in a coma, in a highly magical induced coma, so Odin doesn't wake up ever. And when the people of Asgard wonder why Odin is completely gone asleep and probably dead, they will make their, since the pretty boy Thor is not here with his volumistic hair, blonde hair, he will be the new ruler and heir apparent to the Asgardian throne. So anyway, back here on Earth, Thor finds the shield facility where Mimir landed, and so Thor tries to get Mimir back in his possession by himself, but he gets compromised. Well, he doesn't get compromised, but he gets caught. And of course, Director Fury and Agent Coulson and the rest of their shield agents get him. And Thor is basically pleading with the both of them, Agent Coulson and Director Fury, that give me my hammer. I need to return home. I need to return home and tell my father I got his point. I I got his lesson. But in a tragic, in a funny, in a twisted, funny, tragic way, Thor gets the news from his friends, Asgardian as Asgardian friends, including Valkyrie, who's played by Tessa Thompson, that his father is in a coma, and that Loki might have done might have might have something to do with it. So Loki gets 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 the news that his pretty boy that is pretty boy Backstreet Boy Justin Bieber uh, Justin Bieber wannabe of a brother is on Earth, and so Loki plans a big Honey I'm Home moment from I Love Lucy to eliminate Thor and his Asgardian group of friends by basically sending a Asgardian steel giant to to destroy New Mexico, or that part of or that the small town of New Mexico where Thor landed when he fell out of the sky. And by this time, Thor and Jane have been getting to know each other, like getting to know their culture, like Earth culture and Asgardian culture, and they have been starting to have feelings for one another. And also, Thor is trying to protect Darcy because he has become close friends with Darcy as well, and Dr. Selvig. So Loki sends this Asgardian steel giant to basically destroy this little town in New Mexico where his volumistic blonde hair brother landed, and he almost gets away with it. But Thor gets Mjolnir back and his Asgardian armor back and his friends to help him, and obviously Jane and Darcy to help him too, and Dr. Selvig to basically destroy his wimpy scaredy cat of a brother named Loki, the god of mischief. And basically Thor brings balance and harmony back to Asgard. But he has to leave Earth and go back to Asgard. But he promised Jane, Darcy, and Dr. Selvig that he would return. And now that Odin, his father, had been woken up by the actions of Thor by destroying this Asgardian giant sent by his half brother Loki. Yes, guys, I said half brother, and I'll get to that here in a little bit. By destroying this Asgardian giant bodyguard, steel bodyguard that was sent by Loki. Basically, Odin woke up and basically disowned, banished, or banished, banished Loki, but not outside of Asgardian walls, but banished him from the royal family, and sent him to a very secure prison inside the walls of Asgard. So Thor promised Jane, Darcy, and Dr. Selvig that he would return. And with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Please hit that like button and let me know first in the comments if you want to. Let me know. Would you melt for a guy that looked like Thor with voluminous hair and any type of colored hair besides blonde that looked voluminous and that looked like, and he looked like a heartthrob, like Jane did. And second, if you had a half brother like Loki was to Thor, would you trust him? Would you trust him at first? And after he betrayed you, what would you feel? Would you feel the sense of revenge, of payback? And before I officially go, go, yes, Loki is Thor's half brother because again, Loki is adopted, and his real mom and dad are Loki's real mom and real blood are ice giants. So he's technically blue. Yes, he has blue blood. Loki has blue blood. And ice giants are one of the biggest enemies of Asgardian lore, Asgardian history. So with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. Remember to hit that like button, and until we Thor again. Bye.